I found that when I had an agenda and it was right in front of me and it was this is what I was to do, it was easy to say no to everything else. It was easy to schedule things at my agenda, not everybody else's agenda. In the 1980s, when I was speaking mainly in America at the time, I used to ask my audiences to write down on a piece of paper the most common question or the most important question they could address, that I could address in a Q&A. And that was it. And I was quite puzzled why that would be the number one question. How do I stay focused? I would have thought that, people knew what they wanted and they went after it. But I found out that unless we on a daily basis, unless you on a daily basis prioritize your focus every day on truly what's most important and know what's most important for you, what your objective is, you'll easily become distracted by external circumstances. There is a principle in physics, a thermodynamic law, called entropy. And entropy is the tendency for things that start out ordered to eventually become random and disordered. And material objects, rust, they deteriorate. As you know, a house or a car, if it's not maintained and kept up, falls apart. This tendency to go and fall apart is a natural tendency. And the distinction, in fact, they call that death physics because it leads to a death. And then there's negentropy, which is life physics, which is organizing and ordering and moving towards some focus. And so if we do not take the responsibility to concentrate our thoughts, our actions, our perceptions on what it is that is truly most important in life and define what that is on a daily basis, we automatically undergo entropy. Now, some of you may have heard me say this, but I'll say it again because I think it's wise to hear it many times. If you don't fill your day with high priority actions that inspire you, your day is designed to fill up with low priority distractions that don't. Most every one of you know, probably in your life from your own experience, that if you don't have an agenda for the day and don't have something that's pre-scheduled in a day with foresight, you end up at the end of the day bombarded by all these unexpected things occurring, and you're living by hindsight. You're dealing with trial and error and you're reacting, not proacting. The same thing with money. If you don't put your money into assets that build and put money back into your pocket as assets that accumulate, you will automatically have unexpected bills come and take away the money. That's why the wealthy always pay themselves first, not last. So when it comes to time, energy, resources, or money, or space, if you don't fill it with the high priority actions, it fills up with low priority distractions. So if we do not take the accountability to focus on what is really most important moment by moment, entropy is going to take advantage and it's going to take and scatter us. Now, we know that if we're really, really, really busy and we have a very intense agenda and it's highly filled with priorities, it's easy to say no to people that are wanting to get in your space and take up your time. Opportunities, people that just want to talk, people that want to send jokes, people want to send stuff on social media. If you don't say no to those things, say yes to what's priority, you're going to end up being distracted. And then you're going to say, why can't I stay focused? I've never seen anybody that has, this idea, how do I stay focused? Unless they're doing one of two things. They're saying yes to people that are vying for attention and they don't have the ability to say thank you, but no thank you. They're so afraid of being rejected and so afraid of not being conforming to what people expect and upsetting somebody that they say yes to too many things around them and they don't say yes to the things that are really important to them. The things that really serve, that really produce, that really get results. So unless you decide and prioritize that and think those through and foresight those, you're going to be bombarded and then you're going to get distracted. And then you're going to say, why can't I stay focused? But I've never seen somebody that says, how do I stay focused? That is automatically not focused. I found that when I had an agenda and it was right in front of me and it was, this is what I was to do, it was easy to say no to everything else. It was easy to schedule things at my agenda, not everybody else's agenda. And it was basically a prioritization. So if you don't take command of your time, other people do. It's the same proverb that I've said before. Any area of your life you don't empower, people will overpower. Any time that's not filled with what inspires you is going to get filled with what inspires you. It's that simple. So how do you stay focused? You go and do the value determination process on my website, Dr. Demartini's value determination. Get clear and objective about it. Don't answer with fantasies. Get real clear about it. Find out what's really, truly most priority to you or priority in your business, the one that serves the most to the clients, and the one that inspires you the most, and get clear about it, structure it, fill up an agenda in the beginning of the day with that, and watch what happens. And then allow yourself no distractions. Delegate distractions to other people, a gatekeeper, to get other, when people want attention, then they'll have to call you on your time. If you don't take command of your time, everybody else is going to take command of it. And the same thing for email, same thing for social media. You know, I don't spend my time just sitting there gossiping in social media. I got way too many things to do than sitting there and do that. So you would sit down and prioritize your life, because if you don't prioritize your life, other people do it. And nobody's getting up in the morning and dedicating their life to your fulfillment. If you don't do it, who's going to do it? Nobody. There's nobody that's going to force the universe to fit your agenda. You have to make that agenda, and you have to say, that's it, and schedule it, and put a bunker around you and say, that's it. This is what I'm doing today, and make sure you get the most important things done. If you major in minors and minor majors, don't expect to do major things in the world. So you have the responsibility to take command of that time and your energy and resources, etc. Space, time, energy, and resources need to be prioritized if you want to not have this distraction. And by the way, the moment you subordinate to other people and minimize yourself and live in their shadows and think they have some advice over you, there's a thing called brain offloading, decision offloading, and you'll tend to give them the decision to make you do what when you don't feel confident about it, you give it to them, and then you think, I got to listen to them. Anytime you're going outside your core competency, anytime you're going outside what you value most, highest priorities, you have a higher probability of getting that brain offloading and letting other people make decisions for it, because you're subordinating to them. In the area of our highest values, we're strongest, we're most confident, we're most clear. The area of our lowest values, we're less clear, we're uncertain, and we're more likely to let other people invade our life. So if you fill your day with high priority actions, you'll be staying focused. But you have to decide that. And if you don't decide that, then you got nobody to blame. Nothing outside you is doing it to you. Nothing on the outside is taking up your time. It's what you're giving power to on the outside and letting them do it. Because you can just say thank you, but no thank you right now. No. And it's amazing. The people that do that end up getting things done. Thank you for joining me for this presentation today. If you found value out of the presentation, please go below and please share your comments. We certainly appreciate that feedback. And be sure to subscribe and hit the notification icons. That way I can bring more content to you and share more to help you maximize your life. I look forward to our next presentation. Thank you so much for joining.